Are there still pictures out there online of you being? Because I feel like that'd be back in like MySpace.
There's some on my Facebook just being like shit faced drunk. Like,
yeah, and it's weird.
There's one where like I have a Budweiser shirt on and I'm like this, and I have like a pit stain, and I've just been on ecstasy for like 5 days, just like.
Grab the KY, get yourself ready. You got some sliding to do. Hanging out with TL and the boys, maybe some critters too. So get your phone and get on the gram. You know where to find the man. Slide into the DMs. Girls on your mind. Slide into the DMs. Well, baby, take your time. Slide, slip it on in. Here we go again. DM Monday.
What's up, y'all? Trey Lewis here. Welcome to my podcast, the DM Monday Podcast, episode 34. We're just kind of throwing some shit together here today, but I think that this guest today, he's making his return, Matt Burrill.
I know. 8 episodes later, I'm finally fucking
Is
back,
that how many it is?
It's been 8.
I like that you're keeping up with how many.
I am keeping up with it. I get asked all the time, man, when are you going back on DM Monday? When are you going to be on DM Monday?
Yeah, we definitely wouldn't know how to do any of this without you, starting out. So
man. And I'm happy to be back. I think Mitch and Bonner are holding it down great.
We had some, we played in Dothan this past weekend. We had some people come up and they're like, we love the podcast. And Mitch was like, do you recognize me? And he was like, I watched the episode where the guy hacked into the computer at school. He was like, yeah, that was me. He's like, oh yeah, man. Yeah. Sometimes I feel like people say they watch the podcast, but they just watch the clips. Do you get that with in the round?
I get that a lot, and then I've gotten it a lot with DM Monday too. Yeah. Like I've had a lot of people that have come up to me and been like whether it was on the road with you or on the road with even I subbed in with Gary and Chuck. I subbed in for Brad and sold some merch recently. Yeah. I had people coming up being like, man, we love the podcast. Like yesterday we were at that CRS stuff at Omni, and I had people taking pictures with me. And I'm like, I'm really not shit here. This is country radio. So
yeah, that one kid met us on the Kid Rock tour, but
yeah, they're good people, man.
But another thing that was really cool was yesterday I got me and Mitch went to Bass Pro Shops. I got Mitch into fishing now.
Yeah.
His friend, he used to fish with his grandfather, and now he's back fishing. But I was like, dude, I'll go to Bass Pro and get you everything you need. We got back to the house and we were out in the garage, and I realized last night that I have like an actual Bass Pro Shops in my garage. Like I have so much shit, fishing shit. We were like going through it, and Ellie like came outside, and she was on the phone with Bradley Jordan. Yeah. And Bradley was like, put me on speakerphone, and he was like, Mitch, I got to tell you something, He was like, I just thought you were such a good guy. And he was like, and then I found out that you've been calling that guy Frogman, So like, I know that, what episode was that? The Frogman one?
Who's Frogman?
So Mitch had this like kid that he was always nice to that everybody picked on. And he got like, I don't know, something happened. The teacher was like, is Mitch bullying you? And the guy was like, I don't know. And Mitch got in school suspension. So then everybody called him, what'd they call him? Frog guy or something?
Is it
Toad Bud? I don't know if it's Toad Bud or something.
I don't know where that comes from.
And anyways, long story short, Mitch got in school suspension. So every time he saw the kid from then on, he was like, fuck that guy. Ribbit. Every time he saw him. Sorry. But all I'm saying is like, you had to watch the episode to know that was like a real thing. Yeah. It wasn't like a clip on Instagram. So.
Yeah. People have been watching the it's cool seeing all the stuff that's coming out of the studio right now with DM Monday. Hopefully by the time this episode comes out, it's funny. Like you can't even know, you don't even know when the damn episodes are coming out because you guys have stockpiled so many recordings over the last couple weeks to where by the time this comes out, should be well over 1,000 subs on YouTube.
Yeah.
Which is huge. Which is cool. The audio downloads have been killing
Started with 0.
Yeah, honestly. Yeah. Started with 0 and being like, man, how am I going to make some money doing this? Now you got someone.
I mean, we're still not making any money to do it. We're still in the hole, but we're having fun.
Well, you've got some streams that are coming in as far as money. You've got folks that live here.
Yeah.
You've got folks that
are renting the studio
that
out.
are renting the studio out, and it's growing now to the point where I think sponsors will come on soon for it.
Do you ever? So I mean, I know you're like co-host today, but I also feel like interview too type thing.
Yeah. It's been long enough.
Yeah. Do you ever feel like within the round, like if like when that happens, like when people make a comment to you about the podcast, like about a clip that they saw, but then you in your mind is like, I wonder if they even like listen to the episode, not just the clip.
Well,
you know what I mean? And then if they're like only saying like comments about the clip that they saw that was like viral or whatever, do you feel like, man, I wonder if I'm not doing something right?
For a while, I questioned it, and it's like when we started out in our sobriety, and they said you don't compare yourself, you identify with someone else. So it's like I found myself comparing to a lot of other podcasts that are similar to In the Round, and especially early on. But now it's like I'm confident.
Dude, you have like the hottest round in town.
Yeah, we're up there. I gave out my number.
What would be bigger? You know what I mean? Maybe Whiskey Jam?
Yeah, well, Whiskey Jam is Ward's the godfather. Yeah. I'm just happy to be on the same playing field.
But like you and him are like cool enough to where he came on your podcast, you know?
Oh yeah, dude. And he's played In the Round before. Like we've had Ward up there playing. We've had him as a guest on the show. I mean, me and Nicky T are pretty much family, and we can get into talking about some of that stuff. But we're definitely up there, and we've built a cool scene. Like there's a community with it. Like even old Sweet Boy over there, Mcilwain's like part of. We
got Mcilwain Mondays coming up.
Mcilwain Monday.
Let's get into that a little bit. So Burrill is no longer tour managing for us anymore.
You finally fired me.
But he's still a part of the team. He's still running the radio stuff. And yesterday we went to here in Nashville. They had CRS, and we had a really cool moment. With the radio people. It was really cool to me to go into that suite with all those I don't even know if we're supposed to be talking about this, but we went into the suite with a bunch of radio like program directors and stuff. But it was cool to like go in there. I think there was like 3 program directors that we knew, like from just from you grinding it out and like calling radio stations when we're on tour and like meeting people. And, you know, people that have like really, and Lance helped with some of that too. Yeah, but, dude. That was a really cool moment. And then for them to like, you know, we played 2 songs for them to listen to that are unreleased that are going to be on my album coming out.
That are strong songs.
Strong.
And that was probably the nicest. I felt like I was back home in New York, like in like a buddy's penthouse, like looking out over the skyline. That was one of the nicest like rooms that I've ever been in my life. That was it was really cool to be in the suite, and like to see you go from us sitting around a campfire drinking LaCroix together a couple years ago to us listening to your songs then
with the label.
Now to be sitting with a label and to have an emotional moment and to be with the folks at River House like Lance and Lynn and Zeb that believe in you and believe in what our team has built is really cool. And to be in there with good buddies like
I mean, I was kind of tearing up and I looked at you and you were kind of like you were having an emotional moment.
Yeah, dude, and it was cool.
I wouldn't call it crying. It's just an emotional moment.
It's full circle shit, and it was cool to be in there with your label mates and Austin Snell
and Grant Gilbert.
Yeah, and those are 2 great guys too, man. I'm excited to see what's gonna come.
Dude, I love Austin. I love Grant too, but Austin's like he's good, man. He's like. You know, was he on in the Round?
We've had him on the podcast, and it's funny. I first heard about Austin through the Raise Rowdy channel with Sarah up in Bonner's good friend. That comes down a lot. She's up in New Hampshire, and she was sending me like years ago, like, yo, you got to look at this Austin Snell kid. He just got out of the military, like, and Austin stuff back then. He was like trying to figure it out, but he's found his sound of singing about.
Yeah, and he's got his crew, man. I've been going out to some of the rounds. I played a round Monday night, and it was like that whole crew of those kids. I was just like, man, I kind of want to write with these kids.
They're good. They're good kids, and they're people. Mcilwain obviously knows them well too, with being in the scene, and we kind of took a chance on them within the round, and they've looked up to you, myself, Mcilwain, Nicky T, like all of us as like big brothers. They joke around, call Nicky T Uncle Nick because they're younger. It's funny. I have some friends. I won't mention names, but some girls that I'm good friends with that are like in that Raised Rowdy circle.
Critters? Or
no, not critters. Okay. Not critters. They would be if I was from like Mississippi or something because they're like family. Yeah. But they refer to like that whole crew of like that like Christian, Brennan, Paxton, Austin, like all them. And Austin and Paxton are on the older end of that crew, being that they're like 25, 26, 27. They refer to all those kids as the daycare. All those young dudes are like, oh, look at the daycare playing tonight of like Eamon and Christian and Max King and Sam Johnson. And it's fun to see a younger crew come up, man.
So we fired Burrill.
Yeah.
Not really. He's still on the team.
No, you did, and it worked out.
But I mean, a lot of people don't know this, but we spill the tea. We're open scrolls around here. Back in was it December or January? We had a conversation where you were like, I don't know if I want to be tour manager forever.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's like, obviously you're super talented and like what you do, like you always know like who the next like class is in Nashville, and that's a big thing. Like as long as I've known Nicky T, like that's kind of what Raised Rowdy is they find they promote shit that's like like the Morgan Wallens and the shit that's like super cool, but they also go out and introduce new music to that you wouldn't have heard, they used to share my shit back when I was fucking putting out Whiskey Miss Me and Lie Next to Me, so, and you're definitely a huge personality and people love you. And, your presence is definitely going to be missed on the road, but, so tell us about Raised Rowdy. So how'd you get connected with that? And now you're
first I want to say like the last couple years I have no regrets, and the touring, no regrets and the touring stuff.
The one day COVID.
One day COVID.
We had some damn good times. Let's just reminisce.
Losing my keys and having a meltdown in Wisconsin.
Burrill hooked up with this girl in the van. Can we talk about that?
Oh, I had a lot of good times in that van.
Yeah, he got laid in the van, and then the next day he was feeling it. He's been sweating from banging in the van, bang bus.
Yeah, I thought I had one day COVID. I thought I was going to get fired that day. I'm lucky. I had a lot of foul balls. Yeah, because I definitely had a few more than.
But you learned a lot, man, and you grew. Yeah. We all grew. I mean, we all learned so much. I mean, we're still learning. So.
Yeah, dude. I mean, some of my favorite moments. I mean, obviously the tour with Uncle Bob, with Bob and Corey and John and Joey, and learning how all that stuff works, seeing it at that level, to doing the dates with Co, doing that one off with Brantley, the one off the festival with Hardy, that Crawfish Festival where we had the meet and greet that lasted like
the shit 2 hours. On my chest, the infamous son.
Yeah, Megan Wilson, we love you, Meg. Dude, and then going
all the crazy bus drivers we had, dude, Cookie,
Cookie, Wild Greg, we had Bobby Lee, but all the road experiences that I've had over the last couple of years have been fun. From work, I mean, it's cool too, like having gotten to work with Alabama acts specifically, and groups that are like a family, like to have come in with you guys, because it just started out as, hey, Burrill, we made all this merch for this Dick Down in Dallas. They need somebody to sell it.
And I was on Gary and Charlie's podcast, and they were like, when they were doing, was it called Grapevines?
Grapevine, yeah.
They were like, are those episodes still up?
Those episodes are still up, and they've got thousands of downloads. Like, their fan base is just rabid and crazy.
Yeah, so go check it out. But I was on their podcast, and that was like in the height of Dick Down in Dallas. And then I guess, while I was there, Charlie was just straight up like, so you going to steal Burrill from us?
Yeah, and then I gave them the best, I found a better version of myself in Brad Curry. And Brad does
better Burrill.
I mean, what's been really cool too is like working with organic, working with groups that are like a family. And like a lot of people might not know that, your stuff is still very grassroots. There's obviously a label involved now, and there's a lot of cool opportunities that are coming, but everything for the most part, a lot of it's still based out of Birmingham and still within Alex and the big friendly family, and all the merch comes out of there, just like all
Keeping
the merch.
small town small.
All the Muscadine merch comes out of the Amber Sound office, and all the Raised Rowdy merch comes out of there, and Brad designs all the Muscadine merch. He ships all the merch out.
Does
himself.
A good job of it. Look at it. You got
He
the hoodie on.
And I like this. The merch game is just at another level. Oh, we got a phone call.
Let's see who this is. Hello?
Hello, this is a call from your utility company. You have been paying more than your consumption from the...
Dude, man. I've been getting more and more calls from like spam lately.
They're blowing us up, but
knew I shouldn't put my number on eHarmony. I'm kidding.
I was gonna say, damn. But yeah, it's been
I got a girlfriend.
You do have a girlfriend?
Yeah. Back at it again. Little more than friends.
Yeah, that's what I was telling Lynn yesterday. She was like, "You're back," and we're back with her. And I was like, "Yeah, more music's coming, man. Stay tuned."
Yeah, he goes, "More music coming. Stay tuned." She laughed.
Yeah, but no, I for real, like, going back to it, I enjoyed the last couple years, and that I learned a lot. I made a lot of relationships with a lot of people that I would have never met. Like, I would have never met Matt Mcilwain, who's become, like, I know he's very involved in.
Yeah, I mean, y'all shared girlfriends. Y'all had a strange relationship.
We've had a very up and down.
Almost killed each other at times.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there were definitely some moments where you're brothers, you know. Y'all fight with each other. We never.
Well, I feel like, if I'm not dating the girl that I'm dating right now, if I'm single and I'm a loose cannon,
Yeah.
And if that's the case, then we share everybody. Don't edit that out, Alex.
Definitely have some wild times out there, but no, like getting to know Matt, and Matt's been huge in the In the Round family. Like part of the experience when he's available, because now he's so busy because he's comes with the territory now that the studio's rented out. You don't just rent the studio.
How old is In the Round now?
In the Round, we started. I started that with Tyler Lassard, formerly known as Boudreaux, in March of.
He doesn't like that name, though.
March of 2019.
So how many episodes are you in? Like 110 probably now?
100, and by the time this comes out, we'll probably be like 118.
Dude, that's awesome.
It's been cool. And I definitely.
And who was your first guest? Did you do a solo episode first?
First guest was me and Tyler sitting at Tyler's kitchen table at the house
the house where I did the first episode.
No, we did it on he was living off Charlotte Pike in the hood.
Yeah.
With a bunch of guys. One of them, I think his name's Tim. There was Tim. I think it was Nick. There were like 4 guys all living in this house.
Remember, I did that house in Antioch.
You did the house in Antioch. Yeah. So Tyler's always lived with different musicians and different people. The first episode we ever did was with a guy named Colton Parker. And Colton we knew from us, me and Tyler working at Whiskey Row. And Colton at the time was playing bass for he's part of Hubert Payne's crew and does the network thing, and we got to know him because he was playing with Skylar Anderson on Broadway. Like, our first guests were all people that had regular gigs at Whiskey Row, because that was who me and Tyler knew. And Colton is now the bass player for Lindsay L.
Okay.
And he's going out on tour. He's an incredible bass player. So we had Colton on and he's a great songwriter and stuff too, and very tight with like the Jonathan Singleton crew with 50 Egg and in that family. Yeah, those early episodes were fun because me and Tyler were just figuring them out. We had Tyler's landlord had a studio in the basement, and we eventually started recording down there. And Tyler's landlord had 2 cats, Felix and Cake. And Cake and Felix used to climb on our guests where we'd have them. So we'd be sitting down. The ones that really stick out, early episodes were like Carly Rogers. She hated cats, and they were fucking climbing on her middle of the interview. We had S.J. McDonald on one of the early episodes. We had Jacob Lutz on early episodes. Like a lot of those folks. Mark Burke. I'm trying to think of like other ones. Like those early days were.
Well, we have a new segment that we're going to do today. It's Tell the Truth or Lick Mcilwain's Toothbrush.
I mean, me and Mcilwain have kissed enough with the same girls.
Who's your least favorite podcast guest you've had?
Jesus.
You don't have to answer that. I could
kidding. Say, I mean,
it would be funny to see you lick Mcilwain's toothbrush.
It would be funny.
Bonner would be upset that he wasn't here to see it.
Yeah, I know. Well, he'll see the video of it. I'm sure everything's content. Wouldn't be as bad as those chicken gizzards I ate.
Yeah,
but
you don't have to say who. Just tell us a story.
I mean, there's been like during COVID, me and Tyler went up and stayed at my mom and my stepdad's place up in Delaware.
Yeah.
And me and Tyler, that was
like a farm, right?
No, I've stayed on a farm, and COVID was weird, man. COVID, the first half of 2020 was one of the worst times of my life. And then the second half, when I met up with all you crazy, wild-eyed Southern folks, turned into the best 6 months of my life. So we were up in Ocean View, Delaware, and it's like a beach town, but we were up there in March, and everything was closed, and it was weird. But we were doing episodes over Zoom and Skype.
So it wasn't really the guest. It was just like
the format of it was weird, and you'd have some guests that didn't care. And like there were episodes we recorded back then that we didn't even put out.
Yeah, I remember there being one where you didn't.
There were some that we didn't put out, and it was weird. And we were doing those Instagram lives all the time. We were working with Jamie over with Upstart, Jamie Shoemaker, who's down here now, which is cool. But we did a lot of those COVID times were weird. We did
there's babies being born. We'll never know what that was like. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude.
That was just a crazy time in our world.
It was wild. And then Tyler went down to Texas and stayed with his other half, Momo for show, Miss Morgan. And I went down and lived on my aunt and uncle's farm in East Tennessee for a while. I was a farmhand for about a month and a half, turning out horses, building fences, smoking cigars.
So let's get to the Raised Rowdy stuff. You're partnered up with Nicky T now.
Yeah, I think it'll be announced by the time this comes out. But even if
it's not, people already know. You know,
we could talk about. Yeah,
it's not like we have a ton of people watching this or anything. You know.
Yeah, there's definitely a buzz.
We're appreciative of the people that do listen to this podcast. Like, we love y'all. You know, because this is our core, and you know, y'all are going to be able to when this thing blows up, because it will blow up. I don't know if it'll blow up, but one day we will have a ton of people watching this thing.
Hey, for a starter podcast, it's doing
we're a starter podcast.
Great.
I'm never going to give up because that's how I am, a riser.
Yeah.
And, but, you know, so we're grateful for the ones that we do have.
Yeah. So the Raised Rowdy thing, it's something me and Nicky have always talked about working together. So I first heard about Raised Rowdy, like a lot of folks did, back probably 4 or 5 years ago, and because I was in the scene up in New York and New Jersey, I was going to 100-something shows a year.
Yeah.
A lot of them I used my radio hookup, but a lot of them I was paying for tickets. I was driving 5-6 hours.
Mcilwain, would you give me a water, please,
I was driving 5-6.
You want one?
I've got one.
Want some whiskey or what?
What?
Well, are you drinking again?
No, we're not drinking again. We're not doing that. That'd be really bad. There we go. Toss. Can we get it? Hey, God,
star athlete, suck me dry, baby.
But I first had heard about Raised Rowdy when I was doing my local thing up in Jersey and New York, and Nicky was posting a lot of stuff when he was up in Pittsburgh. And then during COVID, we got really close. There was one night we talked on the phone. It was when I was living in Antioch, and him and I talked on the phone for like 3 hours. I remember sitting.
Never even met.
We had never really met. Oh, no. The first time we met was actually CMA Fest of 2019. It was his first ever event at Live Oak. They did a takeover of Sunday School, Grady Saxman's old round.
Yeah.
And afterwards, we had our first ever like shit show round where they, as Hasten likes to joke, pulling the guitars off the wall, even though the guitars in Live Oak aren't playable, don't work. They don't have a little plug-in thing. But we had like my buddies at the time, like my good buddies, Dave Hangley, Jake Arch, Jacob Lutz got up and played, Taylor Phillips got up and played, Carly Rogers. And that was my first time meeting Nicky T. First time ever seeing Nicky T in person. I was actually like kind of scared to talk to him.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit, that's the guy from Raised Rowdy. It was his first ever Whiskey Jam takeover. And that was like my second or third week in town at Whiskey Jam. And I went over, I remember just being like having anxiety. Like, you know how it is when you first move to town and you're just kind of nervous to talk to people. And it's like, what do I do with my hands? Like all that. And it's crazy now. We had that talk during COVID over the phone, and then I got invited to summer camp. And that was September. The Dick Down Dallas stuff had already been rolling. And I remember going up to that summer camp with Ryan Nelson. That was when he broke my power steering.
Broke your car?
Yeah, that was when I camped out in the tent. I had never camped in a tent. I got welcomed very well at that.
You had sex with a girl that was kind of unattractive from what Bonner says.
I got laid my first time staying in a tent. I was
getting laid in a tent. You know?
Yeah, it was.
Pitching a tent and getting laid.
She made a man out of me.
Pitching a tent,
I guess.
Not pinching. You wouldn't want to pinch it.
Yeah, but that was my first time like really getting to hang out with Nicky T, Sarah, Brandy and Heather were up there for that. That was a lot of fun. And then Nicky, after that, me and Nicky had stayed in touch, and Nicky came to town, moved in with, was living with Job Fortner and Dobro Chris in Antioch, and our houses were not far apart from each other. So I used to go over there all the time, and Nicky started coming in the round, and then started doing Rowdy on the Row. And those first Rowdy on the Rows that he had were
Did you kind of help him a little bit, kind of organize that, or did he just kind of?
He had done it because he had done takeovers of Sunday School and done takeovers of Whiskey Jam. So he knew what he was doing. Yeah. And he had done another event. I forget where it was at during CMA Fest, but his time coming to town was always during CMA Fest. And he would come down with the whole Raised Rowdy crew and all of that. And then me and Nicky just became really, really close. And
it's crazy to me how well y'all really hit it off, you know?
Well, it's funny because there is that age gap, and like he's like a big brother to me.
Yeah.
And he's 41, I'm 28. And but he's helped me out being like a big brother, and then like he'll call me up and vent to me about stuff. I'll call him up and vent to him about stuff. And we had always talked about working together because a lot of people have always said like, isn't Raised Rowdy a competition or whatever? But it's like, it never really was, because he's a lifestyle brand, and what they've done over there and what I've done within the round. We both do music podcasts and stuff, but part of what I'm doing now, we're going to be rebranding in the round to do.
And you're going to call it
Outside the Round.
Outside the Round.
To where we can do stuff that fits into other things besides having music people on. I can have on athletes. I can have on comedians.
We got Mcilwain Monday coming.
We got Mcilwain Monday, which is going to be great because it'll probably will have already happened by the time this episode airs.
Maybe not. Who knows?
Who knows? But it'll be
in a few weeks, right?
April 10th, the Monday after Easter. Which Mcilwain's scared about because it's the Monday after Easter, and having the upbringing that Mcilwain has, you don't really, the day after Easter is
Mcilwain drinks every day. He's probably drinking right now.
I know, but no, what I'm saying is he was like,
when I said that, he looked around to see if he had a beer open. He couldn't even remember.
He was like, man, the day after Easter is going to be tough. But we're going to be at it's going to be at the Rusty Nail.
He's not drinking right now because he still has alcohol in the system.
He had a good time last night.
He went out with our guest that we were supposed to have today that canceled on us.
Yeah. With
Macy, Nicole, and Reed. Harold, you're fired. It's not Reed's fault. He thought it was at 6, but
yeah, I mean, it's
Macy texted me this morning, and I was like, yeah, if Reed can't make it, we'll just do it at 1. And then I never heard from her again. So Macy, you're on my shit list.
Yeah, Mcilwain.
And that stays in. If anybody takes that out, you're fired.
Join the club.
Yeah, we need some kind of drama on this damn thing.
But yeah, we're doing Mcilwain Monday, which will be cool because Mcilwain, like I said, Mcilwain's become a personality within in the round and within what I do. But yeah, me and Nicky T, we've really hit it off. We've talked about working together for a long time, and one of the ways that we were going to work together was me buying into Raised Rowdy and my family getting involved and me kind of taking the next step of, because my thing is within the round, we've never had a website. We've had merch, but it's been very light. Obviously the fuck Matt Burrill shirts, the limited edition that
I don't even wear mine anymore. I feel bad for wearing it.
Don't feel bad for wearing it. People
the girl I'm dating right now, Kara, she took all my hoodies, and the other day I was like, I really want to wear a black hoodie today, and the only one I had was the fuck Matt Burrill one, and I was like, no, I can't wear that.
I mean, you can.
I mean, I will, but I just don't want to wear it right now because it's like, you know, like you're not tour managing for us right now. And like some people might look at that weird right now.
No, I think everybody knows what it means.
But to me, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's just
you don't
like,
have to feel that way. I appreciate you feeling like that, but
let's get weird
you don't
for
have
a minute.
to.
Let's just try some shit. You know what I mean?
No. Oh no, but
you're a co-host, but you're a guest too.
Yeah,
let's have some fun.
I better get to ask you some of those.
Or
you answer those too. McIlwain's got to answer them as well. I know McIlwain technically
only had one girlfriend.
Yeah, I know. Well,
he just has one night stands. Just letting girls down.
It's tough to be committed when you're that high in demand.
Yeah, dude. Sweet boy. The onion ring proposal the other night was probably one of the funniest things I've ever seen. I'm gonna post that this weekend.
Trash talk therapy.
Some of these are good. Some of these are not that good. So just go through and try and find one.
What my ex could never understand about me was, what one of my exes could never understand the tour. One of my exes, well, there's been multiple exes that couldn't understand like about my lifestyle. Like, because I've always just been on the go. Like when I was doing the radio stuff, I was like sleeping on my boss's couch at the radio station or crashing on my friends' couches. And with touring and stuff, they couldn't understand the lifestyle, or they couldn't understand me putting my life out there. Part of being a personality is being an open scroll. That's how you successfully do that. So that's something my ex could never really.
This one's really good. Something you wish your ex didn't. Something I wish my ex didn't tell me about their past.
What you go? You go first, yeah.
So like, I don't know. Dating in town can be weird, right? And well, I mean, there's obviously it's hard to date anybody in Nashville. It's weird,
yeah,
you know. But I dated this one girl, and she told me about this guy. Like I knew this guy that like they had hooked up before, and I was just like, I don't know, it ruined it for me. I was like, oh, I can't be Eskimo brothers with that guy. I mean, I am, but like I can't look at this person seriously anymore.
Yeah,
you know I mean?
I've had exes tell me just stories about when they were in college and shit was like they had wild phases. And granted, I've had wild phases. I've got a decent.
Well, it's like if they have like a wild phase, you're like, oh fuck, are they going to snap back to that and like leave me alone? You know.
Yeah, last time my ex tried to contact me, it was actually this past weekend.
What is this?
Last time my ex tried to contact me, I was over the weekend.
My ex came over last. I'm kidding.
I want Mcilwain to answer one of these.
Yeah.
The lamest hookup ever was, Mcilwain, tell us one of your
ones I don't remember.
What's your lamest hookup ever, Mcilwain? And again, no names, but what's your lamest, quote unquote?
Every time.
No, there's some fun in there. Mcilwain has a lot of fun. Your lamest, like your one where like, damn.
Here's one, Mcilwain. My ex's idea of a date. My ex's idea of a date night was.
I know what you're referring to.
Tell it.
So, basically the one and only. I've had two serious girlfriends, and the last one, when she wanted to have some fun.
When she wanted to fuck.
Yeah. She would go buy me a 12-pack of beer.
Because if he was sober, he would finish too early.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So she would buy him a 6-pack. He would drink that and then fuck all night. Because, you know, Mcilwain never comes when he's drunk. That's why he's never had a pregnancy scare.
True. That makes a lot of sense, actually. I understand you better.
For the longest time, when we used to tour around in the van a lot, we used to say that the only person that was allowed to have sex in the van was Mcilwain because he never comes.
I'll be honest, I have trouble doing that too.
Yeah.
I'm not
You're not even a drunk.
Yeah, I'm sober.
Both of y'all have ED?
I wouldn't say it's ED. It's not like you can't get hard.
Here's some cards.
I think it's better to do that. You last longer. It's better than better than being better than three pumps and a bear hug, like Bonner says. When have you regretted licking your fingers the most? Jesus.
After doing a meet and greet and then just going and eating the after show food.
Oh yeah.
And not washing your hands.
Yeah.
You wake up the next day and your throat's sore, like you know you're sick. It's done.
What's the strangest thing you've ever thrown at someone or hurled at someone? I'm trying to think of what I've thrown that's been odd.
I don't know.
I've never thrown a chair. Or actually, no, I did once when I was in elementary school. I threw something.
What is the online image of you showing that you most wish would disappear forever?
My redneck Matt stuff. redneck Matt was
Pop
tough.
it up, Inger.
What's going on, everybody? Redneck Matt here. Taste of Country Music Festival 2017.
And drinking, it's fun. It's weird looking back. Are there still pictures out there online of you being? Because I feel like that'd be back in like MySpace.
There's something on my Facebook of like me being like not doing anything crazy, but just being like shit faced drunk. Like,
yeah, and it's weird.
There's one where like I have a Budweiser shirt on and I'm like this, and I have like a pit stain, and I've just been on ecstasy for like 5 days, just like hammer drunk.
Damn. What has been your biggest fashion? What does Fox mean? Fox Pazé. Faux?
How's it spelled?
FAUXPAS.
Yeah, faux.
What does that mean? Like a bad
Fashion
thing?
faux, like a bad thing. I would say definitely the vest. One behind the music album cover.
That's one of my favorite pictures.
Pop it up. Terrible.
Yeah, I think again, going back to the redneck Matt thing, I was like in an identity crisis when I was drinking. It was weird.
Who have you been truly jealous of recently and why? Or which artist would you most like to get trapped in a closet with and why?
Trapped in a closet with. Jeez, how big is the closet?
Daniel Bradbury for
for Mcilwain. Daniel Bradbury. I don't know if I've told this story in here. Daniel Bradbury did one of the radio shows that I covered in Jersey. Yeah,
was she nice?
She was real sweet and nice. It was at Jenks Club. It was with Daniel Bradbury playing. They used to do them on Wednesday nights.
Yeah,
I think they still do them at Wednesday nights. Jenks Country Wednesdays. They were always free shows, and they were a lot of fun. And Daniel Bradbury played, and we saw all these. There were people in there passing out these fucking things that we had to sign. We were like, why the fuck are we signing these? Yeah. And it was people from MTV. We found out the Jersey Shore was coming and filming that
Hell
night.
Yeah, I'm jealous.
So Paulie D. It was all the guys. Yeah, it was Paulie D. It was Situation. It was Ronnie, and it was Vinny. And it was all those guys. And
did you ever watch that show?
Oh yeah,
kind of like growing up.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I had friends that were like,
dude, we used to have
show.
Jersey days.
Yeah, dude. Those were again, because I grew up going down there. Like I lived some of that.
Did you ever have like artists? You don't have to mention name, but you ever do like a radio interview and they were just straight up rude?
Yeah, you could definitely tell there were people that didn't want to be there. Yeah, there were always people, and especially back when I was doing it in college, we did phoners with a lot of artists that are really big now. Like we had, and I'm not saying these guys didn't appreciate it, but they were different versions of themselves than they are now. Like we had a pre-sobriety recently dropped from Sony, Walker Hayes in like 2014. He was the first artist interview I ever did. Yeah, was Walker Hayes with his shaggy hair. Yeah, his big song at the time was You Broke Up With Me. No, it was before all that. Oh, really? It was he hadn't gotten sober yet. I think he only had like 3 or 4 kids at the time. Now he's got like 10. Yeah. But he was cool and stuff. But I remember trying to find we were trying to find like a frat party to go to. Like he was party Walker Hayes, and I was part of that downward spiral of his, and he played at a little college bar with maybe 12 people there, and we had him on. We had Brett Young on before he signed his deal.
Did you see his recent thing? He put a song out with our DM Monday alum Craig Campbell. Yeah, and they did like this piece of content where they were like sitting on tractors. Yep. Yeah, and they were talking about how like before. I guess back in the day, how they kind of took things for granted, and now how they don't.
Yeah, anymore. Absolutely. I mean, Walker he's another Alabama guy. Yeah. He's from Mobile. And he's a tall motherfucker. And he played, he was a big basketball guy, and I believe he went to UNC, or he has some connection with UNC. And but it was cool looking back at that. I mean, some of my early interviews back then, it was Walker Hayes in studio. We had Brett Young in studio, and he was this kid from California. He had just moved to Nashville and was just starting to do that. And then he had signed his deal recently after that. We did a phoner with we actually did a few things with Luke Combs in the early days, which was really cool. And that was set up over me shooting a DM over Facebook Messenger to Luke's Facebook account. It was before her.
I wonder if Lynn saw it or
it was before. Well, that was all set up with Cappy at the time. It was Cappy, and then they were good to us because we did an interview we drove up to Portland, Maine, and we did an arena thing, and we got to hang out. Maine. We hung out with Luke. It was when Luke was opening on the Brantley Gilbert tour.
Oh, nice.
He was technically second of 4. So it was Brian Davis. And we hung out with Brian, and BD's now become a buddy, and we've gotten to know him through Murphy, and we've had him play in the round a couple times. But it was BD, who we also did a radio interview with back in the day.
I didn't know he was doing the artist thing.
Yeah, he was doing the artist thing, because that was back when Brantley had The Devil Don't Sleep come out. It was after Brian wrote a lot of those songs that were on the record before that, the Just As I Am record. He wrote Lights in My Hometown. He wrote Guns N' Roses, My Baby's Guns N' Roses, and all that. So we were hanging out, and that was back when I had just gotten sober, so I didn't drink. But my friends back in the day, we had Sexy Lexi, and we had the Mountain Man. And then we had Eric Weinstein, the soldier, and his service dog. We were up in Maine, and we hung out with Brian, and we got to do an interview like in the green room of this arena, which now it's funny because with Luke Combs, and we got to hang out with like Tucker Bethard back in the day when he had his shit going. Then we hung out with Brantley after.
He's still at Warner. He's still got some stuff popping.
Yeah, I know. I was such I'm still a big fan.
He's one of the best. Like his music.
He's a dream guest of mine, because I kind of like having those interviews with folks that have had a challenge, and I like getting that deep interview with them. I'd love to have Tucker on in the round one time. But we did that, and then we did a beach concert. We went down. It was on the beach in Atlantic City. Yeah, and it was Brantley and Luke Combs, and we got to hang out with Luke before the show. They gave us this Brantley Gilbert all access pass, and I'm still a big Brantley Gilbert fan. But then, no, we had to give it back. They didn't let us keep it for the whole show, but it was like our way of doing the meet and greet with them. And then it fucking poured rain that night. We were staying in like a casino hotel room. It was greasy. It was fun.
You ready to spin? You haven't seen it?
So.
Have you seen this?
Yeah, I've seen it. I've never played it.
You got to piss?
No, I take my dip out. Have the gum ready, Matt.
Peach or barf?
Ugh.
All right. Mcilwain, you ready? Old Bandage or cappuccino or liver and onions, bro?
No, I got to spin it.
You want to spin it?
I want to spin it.
Here, liver. Wait, here, I'll let you spin.
Mcilwain is a liver and onion. He's a liver or an onion.
There we go.
So what do? Just give it a flick?
No, you spin it, goober. Come on. Spin it. Get a good spin.
Birthday cake or dirty dishwater? I think you had this one yesterday.
Yeah, I did.
Which one's this? I forgot. I got to find the bean that looks like it. All right, then we eat them together, right?
Yeah, we eat them together.
Did you pull yours already?
Yeah, mine's right here on the chair.
Matt, come on, sweet boy. Did you pull yours?
Come on, sweet boy. Have a seat. We're going to do it right here.
Mcilwain's on camera. I'm going to take a swallow before.
I've already got my water. Run straight to the trash can.
He'll probably start drinking after this.
God, I hate this one.
What is that one?
Buttered popcorn or rotten egg.
I love how you know all of them. So you guys used to play.
He sits in here and tries them. Mcilwain now lives in the podcast studio. So
has the policy changed of him bringing critters over here now that it's his residence?
He pays rent here. He can do whatever he wants.
Wow.
I still don't do it though.
Whatever, he still does.
He can film a full-fledged porno.
Is Josie coming over here or no?
She can today. No.
Okay.
She did say she wants to come on though.
Y'all ready?
Was it a birthday cake or dishwater?
1, 2, 3, go. Peach or barf?
I got birthday cake. Diabetes.
I got.
Fuck you guys. That was delicious. I got a birthday cake.
Mcilwain's gagging.
Damn, Mcilwain, you have quite the gag reflex. Goddamn.
I was like, I'm gonna eat this, and then I was like, oh, I'm not gonna eat that.
Oh God, that one. For a second, I thought I had to
Royal Lynn did not want to do it yesterday. It was great.
Oh my God, it was terrible.
That tasted great. I lucked out. Actually, I have done this before. I did this on the Taylor Austin Die episode. I think we did this.
Yeah, that's right. All right, so let's chat for a second. So you're full-time raised Rowdy now. I mean, you're still doing radio stuff for us. outside the round coming soon. What are you most excited about? Like, what artists, like, I don't know, maybe 5 artists that that are like up and coming that you're most excited about, like just seeing what they do. And
well, I feel like it's me. I feel like it changed. Well, yeah, you're already fucking doing it too. People that I've had on the round, because that's what's cool, dude, is like the round's getting a lot more attention now, and it's exciting. Like people are starting to recognize like me as a personality and a curator, and Nicky T. Like it's tough. Like you talk to so many different people. Like I woke up to like 8 different text messages yesterday from being like, hey man, I met you at the round the other day and I got to go get coffee with all these people because that's the kind of guy I am. I'm going to meet up with them and do it and all that. Cause I remember when I first moved to town, but people that I'm really excited about that I think are going to make a splash are people that aren't even fully signed the deals yet. There's a kid named Aiden Canfield, who's I'm very proud of him because him and I grew up in the same area. He's another New Yorker. It's kind of like if the Zach Bryan, Charles Wesley Godwin, like sad boy kind of thing, matched with like a Bruce Springsteen classic rock. And Aiden's cool because I like him because he's from New York. He's a really good kid. We actually know some of the same people from back home. His parents were in town, and he played my round. It was his first time playing around, and his family came to town, and I was hanging out with them, and they actually knew the dean of my middle school, whose office I used to spend a lot of time in when I was cutting class and acting like a little shithead, Miss O'Hara. But yeah, Aiden, I like his music a lot. He just signed signed a booking deal. It's not announced yet, so I can't say with who, but he was actually he got put out. He went out
What's his name?
Aiden Canfield. And he just did they put him out on with Riley Green. He got to do 2 full band shows, him and his band from New York. Went down and they did Wichita, Kansas, and Fayetteville, Arkansas, which was really cool. So I like Aiden a lot. I think he's got some music. He's actually got a full album out, similar to what you did back in the day, where you put out that album independently back when you were first getting started. The kid's only 20 years old too, so I'm very excited for what he's got going on. He's got a great team around him. And super stoked for him to get down here. Another guy that I like, I've talked about before, Tyler Halverson. Is a really good friend of mine, and he's been crushing it and doing it.
Two dancing in the door.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's the name of the song?
94 Camaro. He opens his set with that when he's out on the road, and he's like, "This song's about a 2nd-generation drug dealer whose car sometimes works." And then he starts out with that harmonica, and it's awesome, and it's cool to see him. I mean, I missed having him in town. Now he's back living here, but he went out to Texas, and he was living in a house by himself where he didn't even have cell service, and it was just in the middle of nowhere in Texas, and he was going out and playing the Texas scene, and he said that's where he learned how to play shows, and he's had a lot of great opportunities from that, and he's killing it. I like Graham Barham is a kid I'm really excited about. I'm very excited about Graham. I think his stuff is fucking awesome. He's still independent as of right now, but he's got a great sound. He's a really good kid, young as fuck, just talented. I like Shelby Ray. Is another one. I mean, the girls. There's multiple.
She's unreal.
Shelby Ray is awesome. She just put out her first single ever. Call Me Crazy. Co-written with our good friends Callie Prince and Sam Johnson. Who Sam Johnson and Callie. I just booked a ride with Sam the other day. Sam is the man, dude.
What's his Instagram handle? It's like songwriter Sam.
Songwriter Sam, and he's He said he's been getting his signature hand ready because he's hoping to sign a pub deal soon. He comes to the round a lot. And
he called me out on stage. He was like, "I saw Trey Lewis in here. I want to write with you wherever you are." So I just got it. I was Presley here, and I was like, "Send me his number." Yeah, Sam's a hoss cat for sure. He's a good dude. I also love Brooke Lee. She's fucking awesome. Really good friend of mine, like a sister. She just signed her publishing deal over at Spirit, and she's getting a lot of rights and opportunities and working with the folks that are over there and doing great, amazing things. Trying
trying to think of who a fifth would be, because there's people like I see all the time, like that crew that's coming out with that Cody Loden, Christian Yancey, Paxton P, all those folks that are coming up.
Who's calling me.
Oh,
let's answer.
She's a little bit late.
You're a little bit late. We're filming a podcast. What can I do for you?
Are you filming right now?
Yep.
Shit. Okay. Call me when you're done.
You're going to be on the episode. So what do you want to tell these people? Sorry you didn't make it.
So sorry I didn't make it.
Hey, Macy.
You sound real apologetic.
Macy, how hungover are you?
Up, dude. I fucking thought I was going to take a 10-minute nap.
Oh, she got the kids running around.
Yeah, the kids were supposed to come on the episode.
With a baby on my hip.
Smacking pizza.
I'm a redneck woman. I ain't no high class
broad.
I'm going to the podcast with a baby on my hip. We hate you. We hate you.
I'm really sorry.
Have a nice life. See you in a year.
That's horrible.
All right, I got to go. All right, bro. Got another call coming in. What's up, dude?
Bird.
What are you doing, man?
Not shit. Just riding around town looking at some jobs. What's going on?
Oh, I'm just filming a podcast, but I just wanted to I was calling you. I had a dream you got fired last night.
God damn.
I know.
Who's that?
Yeah,
Frankie.
Oh, Frankie.
Yeah.
Like that.
Burrill. I'm sitting here with Burrill. He said, "What's up?"
No, tell myself what's up, bro.
Yeah.
Get you a swaller.
Get you a swaller, Frank.
I'll get you a swallow now.
All right, I'll holler at you later. Bye. What were oh yeah, so that's awesome, dude. I thought about this one thing that we could do. So I'm gonna name some names, and then you're gonna do 3 words to describe them.
Oh Christ!
All right, first one, JD Groover.
Oh boy.
3 words. I know you're a man of many words, but 3 words.
Versatile.
Mm-hmm.
Supportive.
Yeah.
And knowledgeable.
Yeah. I knew that was going to be the 3rd word.
Knowledgeable. Yeah. I mean, the guy helped create the one of our favorite places to tour, and the birthplace of the term
Terminal
critter
South.
in Tifton. Yeah, he created that, and he's been in town for a long time.
The word critter.
It is the birthplace. Honestly,
Yeah.
we don't have our whole critter thing going without Tifton.
All right, Matt Mcilwain.
Sweet.
Yeah.
He's hardworking.
Yeah.
That's 2 words technically.
Yeah.
Loyal. He's very loyal. He's
That would be mine.
one of the most loyal guys you'll ever meet.
Yeah.
And
He might kiss your girlfriend every now and then, but that's beside the point.
he has his moments for sure.
Mr. Mcilwain, still your girl.
Well, I when I introduced him, like I was saying earlier, he's become an integral part of In the Round, and kind of my in a way, he doesn't talk a lot on the podcast because we don't have the GoPro on him, because we don't have a fancy editing team on In the Round. I don't quite have the budget for that, but he'll jump on and talk. But at the rounds, he's like a fixture. He'll come up on stage at least usually one round. Kind of
like hype man.
He's part of it, you know. He'll come up, he'll go up on stage one round a night, and I'll be like, "Hey, here's our DD, our drunk drummer, ladies. He's single. It's Matt Mcilwain, the sweet boy, and he'll do a shot with the 4 people or 3 people that are up there. So I'm grateful for him, and happy to have him in my life, Mr. Matt Mcilwain.
Ward Gunther,
Godfather. He's the godfather of what we do in town. He's innovative. He's figured out ways to help grow the scene. He survived during COVID with doing the risky jams and doing a lot. And I would say there's a lot of words I can use to describe where I'm trying to think of the best one. He's very helpful. You know, like he's
supportive. He's just like a kind dude.
Incredibly supportive. He's smart as fuck too. Yeah. The guy's a great businessman, and he's grinded to get to where he is, and helped and built Whiskey Jam into being a global brand. Like
this is a funny one, Bobby Lee.
Oh, Bobby Lee. Wild card.
Yeah.
Definitely a wild card. Right way, wrong way, Bobby Lee way. Don't start no shit, won't be no shit.
Yeah.
He is redneck.
Yeah.
It's very redneck.
Yeah.
And I would say he's character.
Yeah.
He's a character.
Yeah.
It's one of the funniest people.
I would
that
throw
I've met.
ridiculous in there.
Ridiculous, redneck. He's a grinder. That was one of my favorite weekends that I've ever had. It was
my favorite was when John Pierce was like, "Who the fuck is Hunter?" Because he kept going Hunter this, Hunter that, Hunter that. And yeah, I know Hunter, but the other guy, those guys didn't.
Yeah, dude, he was.
All right, two more. Big Tom Lutheran.
Dude, he's a dude.
Yeah.
He's tall. He's fucking Big Tom. He's tall, and I would say he's I would say a staple. He's a staple.
Pretty legendary.
He's a staple in town. And anybody that's in the songwriting community, that's in the publishing world, even in the record industry, they know who Tom is. Yeah. He's very expressive as well. You know how Big Tom's feeling. You know what he's thinking. He's a man of many words. He's he's got an eye for talent in more ways than one.
Yeah. All right, Trey Lewis.
Oh, geez. On the spot. Oh, boy.
You have to pretend like I wasn't here.
You have to pretend like he wasn't here. All right. Let's look at the camera. Trey Lewis. I would say, again, I use the same words that I use for other people. I'd say loyal. He's one of the most loyal people that I've met, and very thankful to have met you. I would say... I want to think of like words that I haven't used already, because I was gonna say like supportive, because like you're very supportive, and like you're honestly, the way you take care of all of us that are on the team is unlike anybody else takes care of anyone. Like you give back to everybody that's been involved with you. No, you do, for real. Like you let us use this studio for my pod. Like, I don't know where any of the guys would be without you, for real. You're one of a kind's multiple words.
Ridiculous.
Well, you're ridiculous, but you're authentic. You're true to yourself. You're always going to be you, whether that's with a record deal, whether that's in a room with radio people, whether that's like whatever.
Like, one thing that I've like, that's the big storyline these days of like, how do you be successful? And like, that's what sells is authenticity. You know what I mean? But it's like, to be authentic, you don't have to do anything. You just have to be. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you're comfortable in your
like. I'm sure there's artists wondering, how do I be authentic? You know what I mean? It's like, you just be, dude.
It's the art of not giving a fuck. Yeah, but not giving a fuck what people think. Yeah. Giving a fuck about
giving a fuck about the right things.
Yeah, giving a fuck about the right things, and running your business and grinding. Like you grind as much as anybody that I've met, and you trust the people that you have around you. Yeah. You're very, very good about that, and loyal, and you've literally, the path that you've taken and that others have taken too, that have done the cover band thing and done that and worked very hard to get to where you are. It's really cool.
Yeah. Well, thank you for saying all those nice things. It's getting weird, but I do have another question for you. Where do you see, or where would you like to see yourself in 15 years?
15 years. Well, hopefully alive. Yeah. That's a big thing with my lifestyle. 15 years.
Do you think like married with kids is ever going to be a thing? 43. Like Ward's married and has kids.
I'd like to for sure. I mean, I don't think it'll be for a little while.
Big house out in Franklin. I mean, 15 years is a long time. You'll be what?
Be 43.
43, yeah.
Be 43. Who knows? I mean, 15 years ago from right now, I was 13. Yeah. I thought I was going to be on ESPN. I didn't think I'd be living in Tennessee. I didn't think I'd be where I am now. I mean, even if you asked me 2 years ago where I am right now, or 3 years ago, like before COVID, it's like there's been different chapters in my life Like I think of like before I moved to Nashville, or even since I've been in Nashville.
Yeah.
Working on Broadway was one chapter of my life. Working as a merch guy with Muscadine was a chapter of my life. Being a tour manager with you was a chapter of my life.
The most ridiculous song in country music.
Yeah, but something that I got to see firsthand, literally like the from the inception of it, and watch it shock the world.
Yeah.
And
I mean, Burrill is partially responsible for the reason Dick Down in Dallas is out. Because if I would have never played it that round and we had that eruption and that first little viral video, then it took a village. But I mean, you were part of that.
Yeah, and Nicky T and I mean, we're lucky that Live Oak let us do fucking rounds at the scale that we did during COVID.
Yeah.
I'm lucky I never got a fine.
Yeah.
I should have gotten a fine just like a lot of the other bars did.
Yeah.
We were full go from June of 2020 on.
Yeah.
We weren't scared to do it. It was Live Oak and it was the local, and we spent a lot of time in those places, and we stayed open later than we should have. The birthday party, that release week, that night before that first show at the Blue Room, that was wild. We had a line up to the fucking Circle. We had every label, every fucking publisher in town. Yeah. And to watch a crew that I'd gotten to meet the previous couple months, it's wild looking back, and to see where everybody's at now, getting cuts, like what Skinny's doing, see what Ella's fucking doing, see what JB's doing.
Yeah.
See what
that thing Ella's got coming up. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
Can't talk about it, but just wait. She's gonna be the baddest bitch around.
Honestly,
when that thing
dude.
drops.
And it's cool to be a part of that family. And it's like, if it weren't for COVID, I don't know if I would have met you guys.
Yeah.
If it weren't for me living with fucking staying on Carly Rogers, shout out Carly Rogers, in her spare bedroom and fucking right here in town by the old Hermitage Cafe. And doing that podcast, I did an In the Round in fucking Boudreaux, Tyler's old living room. I did a podcast with Dawson. He invited me over to NASCAR, and then I got included in that whole group.
I remember that. So you got the big announcement coming up. I don't know if this episode will be out by then or not, but man, I'm excited for you, dude. I think you're gonna do awesome things, and I've told you that. I'm not gonna sit here and jerk you off, but I think you're gonna do great things. Thank you for coming on the podcast today.
Thanks for having me back.
And dude, of course. And this is not the last time you'll see Burrill. We will have him on as a co-host. Less of a guest type thing.
Mitch and Bonner are busy. Are about to be busy often.
Mitch is gonna get bored eventually, And
I don't think he will. I don't think he will. I think he enjoys it, man. I remember, I don't know if it'll ever air, but
you did his podcast.
I did the podcast with him and Clay. I forget, it was like two dudes on a couch or something. It was in their thing. And
Backroom casting couch.
They actually asked me a question over where I'm glad it didn't ever. I'm gonna
What's
say
the most? Go ahead.
They asked me a question of kill, fuck, marry Terry McIlwain and Mitch Goshi.
What are your answers there?
My question was I was gonna kill Terry. Couldn't fuck him or marry him. And then McIlwain would be probably the one to marry. Yeah. And I'd probably fuck Mitch and pull on his fucking braids.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that would have been that was the answer at the time. I don't know if that'll ever see the light of day. So I know he's been wanting to do the personality thing, and it works. And it's like there was a lot of confusion over me doing In the Round here and you guys doing DM Monday here, and like I shared the clips and do all that stuff. I'm still in the intro as of right now.
Of course, yeah, you'll still be in it. I think we're just gonna add Mitch to it. I'm gonna keep you on there.
I hope so.
Thank y'all for watching episode 34 of the DM Monday podcast. Be sure to rate and subscribe. It's right there at the little top. You can just, on Spotify, you just click it, put 5 stars, or 4, or whatever the fuck you think. But we love you, and we appreciate y'all being here and listening. And if you're on YouTube watching, we appreciate it. And thank you for hanging out with us, even though our guest, Reed and Macy Walker, canceled. But we had Burrill instead.
I got a challenge for Because I know there's a lot of crossover. You're in that realm of TikTok. You know? You're in that redneck community on TikTok. Anybody watching this, go ahead and comment on the most recent post that Macy has put up on TikTok or Instagram, and blast her for not coming on the podcast.
The DM Monday podcast.
Blast her, be like, "Oh, I guess you were too good to come on with Trey."
Yeah,
so like give her a little bit of
some
shit
on
TikTok and Instagram, because I know there's folks on there
because we're friends. Like we've been friends. Me and her have been friends for a long time.
Yeah, we gave her a damn all access pass when we did the shows. We made her feel like the coolest big sister ever.
Anyways, I love y'all. Appreciate y'all so much, and thank y'all for being here. And we'll see you on the next episode of the DM Monday podcast. Peace out.
All the songs the band can play, there they go cranking up yours. Ran into your friend, oh what's her name? She keeps bringing up yours. Let it rain, high pole, you ain't mine no more. I thought whiskey's supposed to drown a memory, but it just keeps on stirring up yours. I know you ain't got a tab in here, but if you did, I'd run up yours. I probably should stayed at home with a cold 6-pack of Coke. 'Cause the more I drink, the more I think about what I'm drinking for. Yeah, I'm just trying to keep my phone from calling up.